Yo, what's good out there, world? Welcome to this edition of Smoking and Baking with Trademark. And today, I'm going to be baking for you a homemade, made from scratch chocolate Coca-Cola cake. And the ingredients are as follows. So you can't make a Coca-Cola cake without using Coca-Cola soda. I'm going to be using like 1.5 cups of this Coca-Cola soda. Also, I'm going to be using 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of white sugar. At room temperature, I'm going to be using some buttermilk, 2 large eggs, and also some unsalted butter. And right here, I have 2 sticks, and it's going to be split between the icing and the cake. Also, I'm going to be using some vanilla extract, some ground cinnamon, and also right here, I have some baking soda. I have some Hershey's Cocoa unsweetened powder, and here I have some powdered sugar, and this is going to be for my icing. I'm going to be using my mixing bowl and my hand mixer today, and there in the back I have my 9 by 13 inch cooking pan, and also I'm going to be using some Pam cooking spray. So once again, here are the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this homemade, made from scratch chocolate Coca-Cola cake. Now, let's get to baking. So let's get to the first part of making this cake. So here in my mixing bowl, I have 2 cups of already sifted flour. And I'm going to add 2 cups of white sugar. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And also a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And I'm just going to mix this all together. And then once it's thoroughly mixed, I'm going to meet y'all at the next step. Okay, now let's make our chocolate Coca-Cola mix. So the first thing that I'm going to do is add in 1 cup of cubed butter. Now this is salted butter right here, and I'm just going to add this into the pan. And now I'm going to add in 1 1/2 cup of this Coca-Cola soda. And I'm just going to keep stirring this until the butter melts. So now that the butter is melted, we're going to add in our 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, and we're just going to mix that in until it's well incorporated. And we're going to let this come to a boil before we mix it in our flour mix. Now that it came to a boil, while it's hot, we're just going to now mix this into our flour. So now that we have this all mixed up, I'm going to now add in 2 eggs at room temperature. Also, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of buttermilk, and also 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm just going to mix this all together. So now let's pour this batter into our baking pan. So I'm going to give this a little shake and a pat. My oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to leave this in for 30 to 35 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean, and I'll see you at the next step. So right here on the stove, I have 1 1/2 cup of Coca-Cola on the stove. I'm going to let this come to a boil, and then I'm going to let it simmer like for 15 minutes on a very low heat, until it dissolves into like a 1/2 cup. So now that it reduced in half, I'm going to add in a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. And I'm just going to stir this until it all melts. And once that has melted, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And I'm going to stir that right up on in here. So now we're going to gradually add in 4 cups of powdered sugar, mixing until it dissolves. So let's get this chocolate Coca-Cola glaze over top of the cake.